Well, a very Merry Christmas to you. We're just a couple of weeks away until the big day, and it's kind of extended Christmas around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
You know?
Yeah.
Christmas parade.
Mm-hmm.
Which we just got done doing. Parades.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in 2 Christmas parades. Now, the night before, Jordan and I attended the company Christmas party, and we were both like, okay, we got to leave by, we had a plan.
Right.
You got to leave by this time so we can get up early and get ready for this parade. Because we were supposed to be lined up for the Russellville Christmas parade at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So I got here at the station at 8. I was getting all the candy, put together in bags and ready to go, and went out to pull the cat van around to get everything loaded up. And I went in and went, no!
The worst possible time.
The battery was dead.
It's funny. So I'm like rolling in at like 8:25, where it was about 8:15, and I just texted Aaron. I was like, "Hey, just got into Jeff City, And then immediately Aaron's like, "The van's messed up," and I'm like, "Oh no!" Of course, immediately we got some problems.
So you got to jump the van, but unfortunately, both of your vehicles, you can't get to the battery connections.
we were each going to need a wrench to take off these covers off of our battery, and I'm like, I don't carry a wrench around with me. We tried to get a hold of engineering because there's a key to an engineering room. And I thought, okay,
they would
if
have all
anybody's
the
going to have,
necessary tools.
A wrench or jumper cables, any of that stuff, it's going to be in there. Couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Erin calls me. She says, can you check your car?
Yeah.
Can you get to the post? And I look, I go, yeah, they got little rubber things on, but I can pull them off. She goes, thank God.
Because if not, I was thinking, okay, if this sucker is going to go dead every time we turn it off, we're going to have to keep it running. And I was like, I'm not going to keep it running for 12 hours today.
Yeah.
So,
and we didn't have like jumper cables or anything.
No.
Luckily, we like another station.
Yeah.
We have a Saturday show, and so like there was a whole bunch of people in there, and they were like in the middle of a break, and so I was like, oh, they had like 30 seconds until they're coming back on air, and I just poked my head in, and I'm like, does anyone have jumper cables by chance? And someone goes, yeah, I do. He threw me. He's like, it's the Black Tundra outside. Behind the driver's seat, I got a bag. And sure, me and Aaron, I was like, Aaron, I got jumper cables.
And it was like the most neat put together kit I've ever seen. I was all kinds of, essentials in there. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant.
A bit of an aside, I keep seeing this thing advertised on my Facebook of this little jumper battery charger thing. It's yay big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like it's like the size of a large woman's purse, like thing that goes inside the purse,
like a clutch or something.
Like a clutch, yeah.
Okay.
But then I guess like the little cables come out, but it connects to the battery. It's so compact and it looks amazing. I'm very tempted by it.
Really?
Okay, normally you guys don't put a clutch in a purse, but okay.
I don't know.
I have seen those little things.
One of them women things.
Yeah, like law enforcement too. Sometimes they have that little bag, that's like, you don't need to connect to another car or anything like that. You just, here's the positive, here's the negative.
It's got the charge already on it.
You hit a little button and it beep, like almost like a defibrillator for your car, right?
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's alive.
I tried to call all kinds of people. I tried to get a hold of the husband, several friends, my parents even. Could not get a hold of anybody. And finally, we had to reach out to our good buddy, Rob. And thank goodness Rob was awake. He's like, to have my PJs on. And we're like, we don't care. Just please come.
Saturday morning.
He rolled up to help us. His hair was all messed up and everything. We're like, oh, you just woke up. Well, we appreciate you.
For the love of God.
That was the first thing I asked him. I'm like, how accessible is your car battery? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I told him, and he's like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll be right there.
I got one of those.
Not even 10 minutes later, and we got it going. And it was great. So, but before then, I was opening the van door. And we already had the lights on, and I popped one of the little bulbs out of our lights. And I'm like, thinking, great. Okay, we're missing a bulb. What if our lights don't work?
Right.
So I'm like, Jordan, we're missing a bulb. And I said it was a green one. And so we're looking, and Jordan's looking. I said, hang on, let me help you. And I get the flashlight on my phone, and I'm shining it down on the concrete so I could hear it or see it. And he's like, it's daylight out. And I go, I don't know.
Sweet Erin, she was just helping. All she wanted to do was help.
I just want to be Helper McGee.
Yeah.
She's helping. I just want to. I turn around, notice her flashlight's on. I'm like, Erin, the sun's right above her head. I can see just
this ginormous star, a mere 93 million miles away.
So we finally get things going and everything. We get in the van. We're heading to Russellville. That's when I realized, oh, hey, my flashlight's still on in my phone. It had been on for like 30 minutes.
My battery power is down to 12%.
Yeah. We get to Russellville. You can see they're already lined up. Like, they're already starting the parade. And we're like,
we
Tokyo drifting into.
We rolled in there.
Into the
Did you have a specific number in the parade?
That's just it. Usually we get there, we check in, they tell us where to go, they tell us where to line up. It's not that big a deal. I saw that we were behind Santa, and I'm like, oh, we can't be behind Santa. That's the end of the parade. So luckily, the fire department.
This is supposed to be the big culmination.
Well,
that's the award,
right? The fire department let us cut in front of them.
Oh, good.
So that was good. So yeah, we went through, and Russellville showed up. First off, the weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of great people out there. You know, hey, we listen to you guys, and I mean, it was awesome. A couple people, where's Hilly? And I'm like, are you kidding? It's too early for Hilly.
Saturday morning, dude.
Yeah,
but
we were walking through, and at one point, we're kind of. The whole parade's kind of paused. I don't know what's going on up in front of us. So I'm just kind of standing there talking to Jordan J for a few minutes. And that's when I hear, hey, Hart, let's talk more walking. Yeah, the fire department decided to get on like their loudspeaker and call me out. And I was like, I like to talk. And they're like, we know your occupation. You know?
What would have been funny is being behind Santa. Can you see, like, and here comes and it's the big guy himself, Santa. Yay!
No.
That was a great parade.
Nope.
Hey, what's cat country? What, you guys just trying to steal the show or something?
No,
you know?
one thing I do know about the Russellville parade is Santa stops there, like, kind of like, it's not like really town square. I guess you could call it town square. That's why he's always at the end, because he stops there with the fire trucks and everything.
Right.
And like then kids can come up and all this other stuff. So we knew we could not be behind
Santa is traditionally the last biggest thing in the parade. Yeah.
I remember last year they had like go-karts, and every time we get to a turn, the go-karts would they start like spinning, racing each other. It was like really cool.
Are they like the little
they're like the little ones.
The guys with the Shriners?
Yeah. Those little like ones,
Pretty cool.
So as we're walking back, I'm walking with this couple, and I notice this guy it's a very realistic looking lamb. And all of a sudden I hear this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's real? I thought he had like a stuffed toy.
It looked like a stuffed animal. And
it turns out, this lamb was a day old.
Man.
And they had it on the float, and I'm like, well, how did it handle all the noise and everything? They go, surprisingly well. They said the other one we had on the float was a week old.
Wow. So was this like a manger scene? Is that why the lamb was there?
I didn't ask.
I would imagine maybe
it was somebody that had been in front of us.
Uh-huh.
And as we were walking back, like all the vehicles were starting to be able to go. They had a space where they could go faster to go back into the lot. And so I was walking, and I didn't get the memo that everybody was going faster. So I didn't catch Jordan. So I'm like, I'll walk back.
I felt terrible because
okay.
I left Aaron behind, but I'm like, but I have to keep going. There's so many people behind me.
It was fine. So that's why I'm making friends and talking about this new day-old lamb.
Can you see somebody gets on the float with the lamb? Hey, you forgot the wise guys. Hey.
Oh, gosh. It's sweetest little thing, though. But, yes, we got back in the van and text Kevin, or called him, actually, and was like, hey, how accessible is your battery? Because I had to figure out, okay, so are we going to go back to town and replace his battery today?
Yeah.
Or is this going to be like a Monday, Tuesday problem? And so we decided it's going to be a Monday, Tuesday
Fortunately,
problem.
it lasted. You were okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Then we decided, okay, we need more candy. Yeah, because Russellville showed out.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're not going to have enough candy for the Jefferson City Christmas parade. So got a hold of our office manager, and she was like, oh yeah, we've got a bunch in Columbia. And I'm like, we're on our way.
No way.
So Jordan and I took a trip to Columbia and back.
Which felt like only took 15 minutes. I felt like we teleported there and teleported back.
I was on a mission.
Are you implying that...
We went the speed limit the whole way.
Okay.
Hey, I had set the cruise control. It was just like the heavens
If
parted.
any law enforcement is listening...
No, seriously, it was like the heavens
viewing.
parted.
Yes.
It was just an easy peasy trip because I'm thinking, in my mind, okay, we've already had all these little roadblocks.
Yeah.
What's this going to cause?
Yeah.
But honestly, it was no problem whatsoever. We got up there, we got the candy, said thank you, turned around, came back. We had lunch at Oscar's because I figured Jordan J deserved lunch
going through,
bought for him for having to deal with all the little unforeseen snafus that we had. So we had a good lunch there, and then came back and met Hilly, and Hilly brought his grandsons for the Jefferson City JC's Christmas
They were
parade.
so excited because my oldest is going to be 7 next month. The youngest one, or the middle one, is 4 years old, and they were both. I said, "You want to help Grandpa in the parade?" Yeah, okay. So the whole plan was they were going to walk along with us in Jefferson City and hand out candy. Well, the oldest one decided.
But hang on, before we started that, I go, "Ooh, are you sure they want to walk?" Because the Jefferson City Parade, we're known for our hills. We got 2 fairly large hills. And I kept thinking little 4-year-old and 6-year-old legs are not going to like those hills.
And that hill, the hill too, like the main ones too, are like at the very beginning. Like right at the start of the parade, you go up an incline.
Yeah. But they have such incredible stamina. It's amazing.
Yeah,
they wear me out.
It's true, yeah.
But so the oldest, so they both thought they were going to walk and hand out candy. But as parade time approaches, the oldest one, he says, I said, "Okay, so we're going to go walk." He goes, "I want to stay in the van." "You want to stay in the van?" I said, "Why don't you start walking with me? And then if you decide then you want to, you can go back in the van." He goes, "Okay." But no, he still ended up staying in the van. So Jordan's driving the van, and here is my oldest grandson in the passenger seat.
But leading up to that, we played cornhole. You played cornhole with them in the parking lot.
While we were waiting, we had cornhole.
We got ice cream.
Yes.
So we all had ice cream.
The pre-parade stuff was fantastic.
Yeah, we had a great time.
It was really great. Batman took our picture.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, a lot of those pictures you see on the Facebook, they were taken by Batman.
Yeah.
Okay?
We're like
and Robin was with him.
Too. We were like, Batman's taking our picture, and all of a sudden the guy comes over and goes, "Hey, I think you're next in line." We're like, "Whoa, okay."
We were 9 in the parade. That never happens to us. We're always like 70 plus something in the way back. So it was so wild to be in the parade during daylight.
Yeah.
We were like, what?
The fact that it was still light outside when we were done was like a miracle.
So we're walking in the parade, and so there's Aaron on one side of the van and doing the candy thing. I'm on the other side doing the candy thing. We each have our bag. And there's my middle grandson, Wei. He's 4 years old. Waylon, we call him Wei. He's walking, and he wants to hand out candy too. I go, "Okay." I didn't hand him the bag. I said, "I'll give him a big handful of candy. See those kids over there?" Yeah. I go, "Hand them out to them." He tosses them because he sees me tossing them. So he tosses. I go, no. Hand them to her. I goes, "Okay."
Yeah.
So he goes right up to them. And at one point, there's a little boy. He's got 2 pieces of candy. My grandson has 2 pieces of candy in his hand. He goes, "Here you go." And there's the little boy, and he's looking at which one he has. He's trying to decide which of the 2 he wants. He goes,
"Oh,
The van is moving ahead of us." I'm like, "Dude, make a choice. We gotta roll." So I grab Wei. Give them both. There. I grab his hand, and we're running up to catch up to the van again. He was having a great time.
One thing we learned about the Jefferson City JC's parade is if you are up front, it moves constantly. Like, there's no stops, no lulls, no nothing. And
That's
see, we're used to being in the back, so we're used to kind of lollygagging. And you know, it's no big deal. We got all kinds of time. And we did not have a lot of time.
At one point after, I guess it was the first hill, I'm slogging up there, and some guy, I know the way I was talking, I'm going like, because we're walking, I'm going, "Hey, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas." I'm going, "Merry Christmas." And a guy standing over there goes, "You all right, Hilly?" I go, "I'm in agony."
Well, at one point, I saw some of the husband's coworkers, and they're like, "You're walking this?" I go, "This is my second one I've walked today." And then somebody else said, I jokingly call myself Old Lady Heart sometimes, and I heard this, hey, Old Lady Heart, they got you walking? And I'm like, yes, my middle-aged Heiny is walking, and I can feel it on this second hill.
The last leg of the parade is Capitol Ave, and we're walking down there. And at that point now, my oldest grandson, who's been in the van with Jordan, decides, I want to get out and start handing out candy. So I go, "All right, we're almost at the end, bear in mind." So he goes over to Aaron's side, and I tell him, I said, "All right, you walk with Aaron. I'm walking with Wei over here. You do what she says. Whatever she tells you, you do it." "Okay."
He did not do everything I said. So at one point, he's running. And I'm like, what?
Ahead. Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Hey, come here, buddy. You got to stay with me, okay? I go, "Hey, if something happens to you," I said, "your mommy's going to be mad at me. Your grandpa's going to be mad at me. Your grandmom's going to be mad. Everyone's going to be mad at me." I said, "I don't want anyone mad at me, okay?" Okay. 10 seconds later, he's sprinting again. No. You got to come back, Weston. Buddy, come on. You got to stay right here. And then he's like, candy. And I'm like, okay, yes, we're going to hand out candy, but you got to stay by me, okay? Okay. Start sprinting again. The kid gave me
He's
3
a runner.
coronaries
Mom.
within 45 seconds.
Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, brothers, they will all be.
Everybody's gonna
Aaron
be
will be
angry
on
at
their
me.
hit list if anything
Yes.
happens to Weston. So that was that. But he got at the very, very end. He handed out candy. But
As I'm driving,
Yeah.
by the way, I need you to know, like, I'm driving and I'm just seeing kids get yanked out of the window. Right? So you sit there, like,
yeah, you
whoa.
had quite a view.
Yeah.
By the way, we
Yeah.
videoed this thing.
We did.
And there was a 1:24 time lapse
We time-lapsed it.
of
We
the
did.
entire
We did.
parade. And it's amazing to see it go by so quickly.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
If you pause it when you're watching it, you can actually make out certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But forget trying to, notice anyone
Right.
when it's rolling. But it's a fun way to
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah,
man.
but if you've ever wondered what's it like to be in a parade, what does it look like from our point of view, especially when you're driving? Because we had the camera kind of next to Jordan as he was driving.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like how nerve-wracking it is you see those crowds starting to move in,
Right,
you
yeah.
know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Jordan's got to be super careful, and everybody's got to be careful. But yeah, it is. It's fun, but it's also nerve-wracking.
It is.
You
Definitely
see the
give it a
amount of
watch.
people that really like that candy. They don't care.
yeah.
They will dive in front of your vehicle, and you have to be
Yes.
ready to stop immediately.
the video is on our Facebook page. It's on our TikTok. I believe it's on our YouTube, the
Yeah.
Hilly and Hart YouTube. But find it. It's really kind of cool. You know, it's funny. At one point, excuse me.
It's almost 45 minutes, by the way, the route. Is
Is that what it was?
The 45 minutes.
And we trimmed it down to 1:24.
Yeah, well,
Amazing.
because the time lapse. But yeah, I said it was about 45 minutes of,
Yeah.
of
As
video.
you know how what it is when you're handing out candy. Jordan, you've done this before too. Like, you're kind of tossing candy as you go,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Merry Christmas. And once in a while I throw it up in the air, hey, it's raining candy. And everybody's like, ah, But at one point, I'm tossing candy and you're not really paying a lot of attention to who
Yeah.
has the kids have their bags open. You hope they hit the bag. And as I'm going past, somebody goes, hey, you missed one. I go, what do you mean I missed one? I'm not aiming for everybody.
Yeah,
it's
that's-
like scattershot, you know?
You missed me. I was like, well, I
that's-
threw a lot of
that's
candy.
just
Yeah.
it, as you're walking through, and it's not like you're ignoring anybody.
No.
You just have to toss
Yeah.
and keep
You
going.
gotta move.
And you
Those-
got to toss. You're supposed to toss it down at people's feet. That's what they want. So you just keep doing that, and you keep on moving. And yeah, you'll have people that run to you. You're like, you forgot a little
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Right.
It's like you got to
so
remember.
then I'm supposed to. They're wanting me to like run back
Yeah.
to give. And
Right.
I did a few times, but after a few times, I'm like, I can't be
Yeah.
doing that.
With
you
very
know?
few exceptions, there is really no time for conversation.
No.
Maybe just a quick, hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? Like that, and then, on you go.
Well, especially just with the amount of people behind you, and everyone
Yeah.
wants to keep
Yeah,
moving. You
right.
don't want to. You
Yeah.
don't want to bog up the line, right?
A couple
And-
people grabbed me for a quick hug, but that's what it was. I mean, it was
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah.
It's hectic.
Yeah.
There's
It's fun, but it's hectic.
Crazy fun.
Well, because you
Crazy
got
fun.
and you'll see on the video, you got to remember, there's hundreds of people, and everyone's screaming and yelling and saying 20,000 things, and
Yeah.
you're trying to pass out candy and acknowledge
Yeah.
everybody, and it's like you only can
Right.
do it so
Yeah.
while you're moving at the same time. It's I'm sorry.
We do love it when we go by, though, and people are yelling, cat country.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
man,
oh,
does that
yeah.
make us feel good?
It makes us feel
Yes.
great.
Yeah,
Yes,
oh, look, it's Hilly and Hart. Yay, there we are.
They're like,
Yeah.
we love you. I was like, well, we love you listening. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Exactly.
Yeah, we went through, by the judging station, and they gave us a shout out and handed.
Aaron
me,
grabbed the mic and
It's
said,
funny,
hey,
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
I heard,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that was fun. That was unexpected fun.
They
But-
go.
I
and here's-
tossed candy up to
Did
them.
you hear? They're like, and here's cat country, and then I said out on the horn. I was like,
So near the very end of the parade, we're walking on Capitol Avenue. It's getting a little sparser, and so I had brought a water. So I got up to Jordan's window. I was like, "Hey man, can you hand me that water real quick?" And I took a quick drink. And like my legs at this point, they're killing me. Like old lady Hart's about done. And I hear from young Jordan Jay's mouth, "My ankle hurt."
Oh, my God. Yeah. I can see that.
well, listen, okay. To be fair,
I know.
walking is probably worse, but. Well, you have to have your ankle on. You have to have your foot on the brake the entire time.
Yeah,
and
it's
there's
true.
no, and there's
It's
no,
true.
there's
You're riding the brake. You're
so
literally
you're
riding the
riding
brake.
the brake. So
Yeah.
eventually, it's like you're like my ankle's tired. I
No,
wanted to,
no,
so I'm switching to
Once
my
you see
left.
the brakes start smoking.
Yeah.
you know?
So I switched to my left foot, which, by the way, you should never brake with your left foot. But I was like, just to give my right foot a break for
gotta.
a second.
You
You know?
gotta.
So no, seriously, hats off to you for being our driver like the last 5,
Yeah,
6
Jordan did a
years or
great
whatever.
job, man.
Appreciate it.
He's-
Appreciate it.
Because I did it once, 1 year, and so many children darted out in front of me. It terrified me.
Sure.
And I said, I want no part of that whatsoever anymore.
That's like me driving in Ireland in the left lane. I was like, I don't want that anymore. That was terrifying to me. So I
feel like I've just done it so many times at this point that I'm just used to it that I'm just like, let's do it. Let's just keep our rules.
I will tell you that we have learned so much over the years doing these parades, and a lot of it is down to like a fine science now.
Yeah. We can kind of tell how much candy we need depending on the weather. We
One year,
know how
though,
many people will show.
One year we had a heater in the back of the van. Okay.
No. It wasn't a heater. It was a generator.
It was a generator.
And it was to power the lights.
A generator.
This is a long
and
time
all
ago.
of a sudden, there are flames coming out.
It's like it backfired.
Of the generator.
Flames would shoot out of it.
We look like the Cat Country van version of the Batmobile, okay? And it's like, all you needed was some children to come up to the back of the van. There was like literally flames shooting out of the back of the van.
So we're back there, and it's like we almost got to the point where we could count down from 35 because we know a flame would come out, and we'd be able to back way up.
You just see someone behind roasting a s'more.
It was insane, man.
Yeah, we had some crazy ones. There was a time that Hilly and I were on an actual float, and it monsooned.
Yes. Oh.
I mean, like, it rained hard the entire parade.
Ground rats, man.
Yeah,
Ground rats.
But we survived. That was like a Hawaiian theme, which was kind of funny.
Great.
That it was like
How
a tropical
ironic.
theme, and it just totally monsooned on us as we're, driving down High Street and stuff. Oh, and I successfully got out of the van earlier in between parades, not once but twice. I honked the horn with my hiney. So I got that going for me.
Nice.
And Jordan and I started dying laughing to the point where I got the wheezies, as I call them, because I'm like laughing.
You ever do that when you laugh like so uncontrollably hard that you're like crying?
You can't breathe.
Yeah, you're like, I just been me and my dad. We had that moment like last week where I was like crying, just like laughing so hard I can't. You're like. And I'm like, if I keep laughing, I'm going to die. I can't breathe air
and
anymore.
it's like I said something like, boy, I hope this afternoon goes better than this morning did. Oh, man. We got to laughing. And
Oh, my God.
I couldn't get it together and got to get out of the van again and did it again. I'm like, God.
I know. And then at the end of the night, that's what I was like.
George's like, watch the horn.
Be careful with the horn.
Watch the horn.
We just had such a great time, and if you were at the parade and we saw you, man, it was great seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to share your holiday plans, what are you up to? You can always shoot us an email.
Yeah, catcountry@mailzimmer.com. Let us know what you're doing, or if there's ever a topic that you're wanting us to cover, let us know.
Yeah. So a very Merry Christmas. We got more to come. We got more holiday stuff before the month of December is done.
Much more holiday cheer.
Exactly.
And
but
I'm excited.
That is another Cat Country KATcast.